Good Thursday afternoon. This may or may not work. I have you on the steering wheel. So, um, I hope that the air doesn't um, cause too much background noise. I could take my foot off of the brake because we are in park. It's warm. Ian's in piano lessons. Not sure if this is where I fell or I tried the breathe right strip thingy. Either way, as you can see, I have zero makeup on, zero anything. That was great. My husband's sunglasses, and I've been in pain again. And I'm going to talk about this because I'm going to let this be. I did another video that I haven't posted yet. But I'm going to let this be a little bit of therapy, plus a little bit of an encouragement, plus a little bit of just, yeah. Because usually we do a celebrate recovery. Usually I have a point. Usually I have a devotional. Usually I have a something. Well, they kind of have a nothing. So bear with me. I don't even have water, so that's where that is. I have to lift my glasses up to see texts and stuff because I don't know what kind of, I tell my husband all the time his sunglasses make him look like a mosquito, so, or a fly. So, yeah, so today I have on the fly glasses because I thought I had mine and in the car, and I don't. So that's where that is. I'm frustrated. Generally, outright frustrated, and I feel like I'm being gaslighted. And I use the term I feel like because I don't until I talk with the doctor. I don't want to use that term 100% until we have another conversation. Because if you remember, our first, my first experience with her was not the best. So the second time we seemed to be communicating, things seemed to be going okay, except for she said, because I have an appointment already with physical therapy dealing with my back. The last thing she said to me was, if the pain gets real intense or comes back, call me. We may need to do some imaging. I went through pain last week. It eased off with, doing exercises, doing the normal things. I was on the way walking out of the garage to go see my precious Aunt Catherine. I'm going to go see her more often. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. If my husband has to drop me off or whatever, I'm going to see her more often. It was a priceless, precious visit. She's hard of hearing, so I don't know that she heard a whole lot of what I had to say, but it tickled her. She got to see Ian, and it tickled her to see Ian. And she is the only one that can really say, yeah, he looks like your dad when he was little. She is the oldest sister, so that was cool. But back to the situation at hand. As we were walking to go out the garage, I started to take the Cadillac, and then I decided not to take that. We'd just take the Avenger, and I turned, and the pain hit, and so much so that I couldn't hold it in. I kind of yelled out, "Ow!" More like louder. um, so we went ahead and did the visit, and I kind of explained to Ian that, it's okay. And yes, I am well aware of, and especially looking in this camera, at how much my hair needs done. I'm enjoying the shorter haircut. Getting back to the point of this, which there is kind of, not really, but there is. I have zero medicine for pain. So when I'm in pain, it's misery. And I'm not saying that for sympathy. I'm saying that because it's just how it is. It's facts. I'm okay most of the time not having pain medicine. I haven't really had any for so long that I weaned myself off of Tramadol a couple of years ago because it just didn't help with the pain to begin with, and it was causing me to have other side effects that just weren't worth me taking it, so I weaned me off of it. And I kept it for as needed for a while, and it wasn't anything major whenever we decided to get rid of it. So my migraine pain medicine, that was something. But 22 weeks migraine free, thank you, Lord. So here's where we're gonna go with this. In the other video that I made, I told you that I made a pallet for myself down in the basement. It's cooler down there. It's more comfortable for me down there. I actually ordered actual Japanese bedding, so that I ordered two, one for me and one for Ian, because me being down there kind of impedes on his little space down there, and he doesn't have much space in the house. Nobody does. So there really is no way around. I'm sorry if the air is too much noise. I understand. Let's do this. Then you hear the belt whistle, so it's kind of a catch-22. I can't. I'm in pain, and I cannot. It's all I can do to tolerate having on undergarments. We'll put it there. Now, you may also say, well, why aren't you writhing and moaning and groaning and all that stuff? Because I tend to not do that. Didn't do it even when they took me to the emergency room and times that I've been hospitalized and stuff like that. I just tend to not do that. I tend to focus on my breathing, different things to distract my mind, and so it works. But we're 9 minutes into this, and I can't tell if it's 7 or 9, and I haven't really hit a point for a Thursday thought. So we're going to fast forward through all of the other junk stuff, whatever, that is dealing with my body right now, that is wreaking havoc and winning. I'm sorry, I have to turn the air back up. I can't bear it. When I called the doctor. I didn't get a call back till the next day. That happens. I had another conference planned for this weekend. Paid for my place, paid for, my reservations, paid for my shirt, paid for the whole, and was really excited to do this. And then this happens. And this goes back to where I'm going to use the terminology of medical gaslighting, because this is how I feel now. Miscommunication could be in the works, could be something in there, and I don't want to label that completely gaslighting. I've been gaslit by so many people and doctors and stuff that, So here's when I get the call back, the lady's talking to me, and she's like, she needs you to make an appointment with pain management, and just go ahead and bypass physical therapy. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I told you I'm not going to do that. And I said, she told me if the pain came back to call her, because we might need to do imaging. I think we need to do some MRIs or something to find out what's going on. So she put me on hold, and she came back and she said, I can make you an appointment. The first appointment that I have is on Monday. And I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I'm in so much pain that I couldn't talk with her coherently. And she kept saying, are you there? And the part of me was biting my tongue. Part of me was just blown away, and part of me was just in so much pain that I'm just totally incoherent. Am I gonna go sit in the emergency room for it? No, I'm not doing it. No. My last migraine adventure was my last go at an emergency room for pain. No. Sorry, but just no. Is that stubborn? Yes. Is it stupid? Could be. Anyway, after I talked with her, we made the appointment for Monday. I felt a part of me crumble. And after I got off the phone with the doctor's office, I was talking to my husband, and I couldn't keep talking to him. And I started crying. And I cried. I don't usually cry in front of Ian. But a part of me crumbled, because it felt like, here we go again. I had all of, everything, the hopes, and, that I'm communicating with this new doctor. We may get somewhere with this. We may actually find something that works, and boom. And there may be, all of my hopes and plans for the weekend, I, was going to be close to where my mom is. So we had talked about, making a trip. I've not got her to the cemetery yet. And at this point, I can't even call her to tell her. Anyway, back to that part of me that crumbled. We fixed it yesterday. Usually one of us stays in the car, in the area, something with Ian. And I asked him yesterday, I said, will you be okay if I leave? Because Papa will be there. He gets off work and goes straight there if I need to come home. And it's just a short span of time. And if anybody's watching this that thinks about any kind of nefariousness, don't bother, because since they know who's allowed to leave with, and 911 and black belt. So, just leaving that there. Anyway, as we were driving to his class, that part of me that is still kind of crumbled, something inside of me rose up, and it said, no, this is not how we're going to do this. The crumbled, hurt part of me is still crumbled and hurt. The part of me that has gone 22 weeks without a migraine, the part of me that has lost weight, that is still, other than today's the only day that I have really seriously barely moved. Most of the other days, I tried. Yeah, I tried yesterday. I couldn't even I got a little over, I think maybe a half a mile, and I just couldn't do it anymore. The pain was just too intense. Often walking eases the pain. The last few days it has not. So, what the thought that I want to leave with you for today is to keep your faith and don't lose hope. And even when you feel weak, keep that little bitty, teeny weeny bit of strength. I used to always say, I took a picture one time of a mustard seed in my hand, because I am a Christian, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't directly, because I don't want to, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. My job is not to judge you. My job is to love you. That's where we'll leave that. And that's what I try to do. So, back to years ago, I took the picture because I used to always say, I have my mustard seed and I'm not afraid to use it. And that applies in this. But whenever I took the picture, I did it on Facebook years ago. When I took the picture, it was smaller than what you see. Might be easier to see. This nail and the actual nail part of my hand, of my pinky finger. It was smaller than that. I took it out of literally a mustard seed, and had it in my hand. When you think of, the Bible says that if you have the faith of a grain of a mustard seed, that you can say to the mountain, be moved, and it'll move. And if you read, I like to read different translations just because I feel like it's kind of like I get more understanding. So when you do that and you get into, the strength that you have in your faith, even when your faith is at your weakest and you're crumbled. I got people around me who are fighting harder battles than what I'm fighting. I got people who are dealing with more than I have to deal with. And they got their mustard seed. So some have more than, they got more than their mustard seed. We'll just leave that there. But I want to leave you with, because this is getting long and Ian's lesson's going to be over, and yeah, I want to leave you with the thought of stay strong. Even, and this applies to recovery. I don't think in terms of, my mind sometimes thinks about, okay, well, what if I lose this medication? What will I do? I use, I've switched to some herbal supplements and stuff like that that help with different things. But there's always, and whenever I say this, y'all are going to go bananas. Just don't. This is for context. I could do what I did for years and years and years. I could swing through the liquor store, buy my favorite bottle of poison, mix a drink, use it to take the edge off of my pain, or use it, I could buy a bottle of Kahlua, make a cup of coffee, be good, okay? I know this in my mind. I know that instead of having to deal with the doctors and deal with all of this stuff, I know, I'm 57 years old for a few more days. Wow. I'm going to have a birthday soon. I know what I could do to self-medicate. Am I going to do that? No. My sobriety means more. Period. But it does take resolve. It does take accountability. It does take faith, strength, hope. And it takes value. I value me. Even though I've not been able to do a whole lot, me and Ian are bored. We just are bored. Hopefully, I'm hoping tomorrow that I'll at least fill up to scavenger hunt mode. Because the last couple, today, we have been pretty much vegetable slugs. We've done zip nada, other than come to his piano lessons. But I want you to just kind of, find that bit of strength. And if you don't have it, reach out to somebody that does. And remember that strength is not just somebody saying, oh, you can do it, don't give up. That's not necessarily always strength. Strength is somebody that will tell you straight and talk straight to you and love you enough to tell you the tough things. For me, when I crumbled yesterday, when we were going to karate, and I was talking with Ian and explaining to him that I was going to walk him in, let Sensei know that I was leaving, but that, Papaw would be right there shortly, that I had to come home. I was just in too much pain. I had to come home. When I was talking to him, and that my spirit rose up in me. See, sometimes you have to, people can talk to you and encourage you and tell you stuff, but sometimes your spirit has to rise up within you. That which is within you has to rise up. Your strength has to come from inside you, has to come from what you believe, has to come from, all of those things. So gonna leave you with it's a lengthy, I want to curl up in a ball and cry. I'm gonna go back home and lay down because being up is very, very uncomfortable. It's my van. Y'all just stay strong. Be courageous. You got this. Don't even know what to title this, but you got it. Have a great day. And don't be calling CPS on people that y'all are. That's the most ridiculous thing. Calling CPS on people over words on the internet. Y'all gotta quit that stuff. Y'all gotta quit. It's ridiculous. There are children who really need those services. Yeah, don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't overburden a system that is already overburdened and stretched. Don't do that. Just don't. Just don't. Anyway, y'all have, that was random, I know, that came from just peeking into streams, trying to keep my mind occupied, and just going, I just can't. I just can't. Adults need to be adults. Men and women need to be men and women. And by saying that has zero to do with how I feel about anything else. Adults need to be adults. Be grown-ups. Handle business. Raise your children. Raise them lovingly. And if you got a little internet tiff with somebody, that person should not use your children as targets, period. At all. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's putting trauma and putting adult behaviors onto a child that has no idea or understanding about what's going on, and no business in it. Okay, I'm really done this time because his lesson is literally almost over. I've talked to you the whole time. Y'all have a great day. Remember, I am the mayor's daughter. Behave. I love y'all, but behave. Act like you got some sense. It's, act like you got some flippin' sense. See you, bye.